Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart, 1308. I think I'm muted. No?
Yeah, Trevor, you're muted.
I'm not muted.
On Discord.
On Discord, yes. I am muted on Discord. I was not muted on Twitch.
Happy Sunday.
Some days. Well, friends, welcome back. We are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. And it is starting off to be a Sunday already.
Lens cap.
These cameras don't have lens caps.
I know.
Yeah.
All for technical issue.
Yes. Well, today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall, above the bricks, Suite 200, between the Green Cauldron and Hamilton's. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. Hey, bud! And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which is highly biased. By which I mean, I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. The website is thehiddenleafseville.com. That's thehiddenleafseville, all one word, .com. And today, as well as our usual pre-rolls, we are going to be trying out a new product that I got from Firehouse, one of our other sponsors, up at the Frosty Fridays event at the Hidden Leaf. And this is strawberry rosin. These are they're basically kind of like chewing tobacco, except for with THC instead. That smells very strawberry-ish. Yeah, they're little rosin pouches. You put them in your lip and you just sort of leave them there. And I am going to be giving this product a try. Hey, Chris! Chris into 386 here with us.
They say it's like chewing tobacco, so it would be strawberry.
I mean, yeah.
You make it hard to type when I'm laughing.
Yeah. And hard to type what I'm thinking. When I have to think about what you just said. So, yeah, these are the packets.
So it's more like bandits than chewing tobacco.
Yes, a lot more like bandits. It's yeah. It's a very light strawberry flavor. Not strong strawberry. I can taste the rosin. It's similar to the taste of the liquid dab spray. So, we wait. See how long it takes for that to kick in.
You want me to set a timer?
Nah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Well, the timer would be a bit skewed, considering he's also taking other.
Right. I'm going to be smoking, and I've already smoked. I only smoked a bowl so far this morning, though, so I've barely smoked anything.
It's more of a timer to see how long it takes to get up to 5 or 6 attempts at a sentence. That's all.
Honestly, though, 5 or 6 attempts at a sentence is what I do when I'm sober, too, so. I mean...
True.
Morning bowl, would that be Cheerios or Wheaties?
It's, for me, it's a wake and bake of Wheaties. Cheerio is too much like Cheerio, which means goodbye. Even though Cheerios are one of my favorite cereals. But yeah, it's when you smoke first thing in the morning. Smooth. When you smoke first thing in the morning, it's called a wake and bake. Because that's what you're doing. You're waking up and baking immediately. Now, I don't exactly wake and bake, because it takes me a while to get from laying in bed to sitting up doing stuff, even feeling up to packing the bowl and lighting it. Like, it takes me a little while to get from bed to bowl.
You prepare the bowl before you go to bed just so you can light it as soon as you wake up?
No, I don't do that. Partially because I don't like to smoke weed while I'm lying down.
Okay.
Yep. It's it sits in the lungs funny. Makes me cough. It's never good.
Makes you cough.
More than usual. More than usual. It settles in the lungs in a way that's not fun. It also used to give me heartburn. Neither here nor there.
That's not something I hear very often.
Yeah. Weed actually does have a bit of a, is known to cause heartburn a little bit. Can cause heartburn. And for me, leaf, really leafy weed that's, not very buddy, but mostly just leaf, causes heartburn unless I smoke it in a joint.
That's interesting.
Yep. One of those strange things that I figured out about me.
In that case, it leaves you with heartburn?
Yes, it leaves me with heartburn.
So in your case, it's not so much wake and bake, it's wake, percolate, and then bake.
Yeah, I also like to take my first round of breathing meds before I smoke first thing, before my first bowl. Which...
Breathing is a crutch.
F you. F you. My O2 sats are so low normally that I should be the one saying breathing is a crutch. All of you people who need O2 sats over 98%, you're weak. If you can't operate at 89% O2 sat, then you're weak.
My dad would have agreed with you.
I don't actually believe that. I actually am very disturbed by the fact that 89% is not unheard of for me, and it doesn't seem to affect my cognizance at all. I'm that...
People are funny. My dad was a cigar smoker, and he didn't slow down from oxygen or anything else until it was a case of him only having 10% use of one lung and like 50% use of the other.
Right.
I
He
don't
still
remember what his stats were. It was just a case of he just didn't have anything left to use.
Right. That's when I was seeing a doctor on the regular, every year she would send me to a pulmonologist to get the lung function test done.
Mm-hmm.
And the pulmonologist was, I mean, she kept saying, you know, I know guys who've smoked until they were 99 years old and had, you know, full lung function and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But she was also, she every year she seemed about as surprised as I was that I was still a cigarette smoker with cystic fibrosis and had high functioning lungs. You know, had very high functioning lungs.
Honestly, it's probably because the one thing fights the other thing.
Yep. Very much so. Also, I mean, it is, okay, so part of it is the expectorant and bronchiolate qualities of marijuana.
Mm.
Part of it is the fact that I take breathing meds. I take my breathing meds several times a day. Like, I take a decent amount of them. Good morning, Just Me Crystal. Akuda, what is up? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Akuda is from Dassen _ stream.
Ah.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. We're doing pretty good. How are you doing today? We're doing our normal kibitzing before we get started with the game. You'll have to pardon me. I apparently need to take another dose of my breathing meds. Nice. Akuda says, I'm doing all right. I got a good night's rest after I tried taking a nap last night. Right on.
Good.
Good night's rest is important. Oh, I need to wait another 49 seconds before I give you a shout out.
So with all those breathing meds, does that mean you're an alcoholic?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That sounds really fun. Yes, I am an oxaholic. I need my oxygens, my oxes. Akuda says, built a basic RPG game and an RPG Maker yesterday, to learn the engine. I don't have a clip on my channel, so the shoutouts break. We don't, our shoutouts don't show clips yet. We don't have that set up. So.
No.
I mean, we're still working with...
And RPG Maker. RPG Maker is a piece of software, specifically.
Oh, neat. Neat. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, we still have a lot of stuff to set up on the channel. So, we'll get there, though. The breathing meds. With 5-hour energy. To keep the dextromethorphan from knocking me out. All right. So, again, I don't know that I've been paying that much attention to the news this week. I spent a lot of the week listening to music, prepping for DJ streams. So, okay. I might be a little behind on the news. You guys, and with as well as you guys have been doing lately, I have a feeling you guys are gonna take it this week. One of you two is gonna take it this week. So
we shall see. It depends on how extra distracted I am.
Okay. Well, let us switch over and see how this goes. First off... Oh, wrong thing.
Thank you to the community of WAMU members who give generously to keep this service strong.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from the Southern Environmental Law Center.
It's a clip show
the world
today.
Is at a crossroads for the environment.
Never mind,
and
we're
SELC
not taking
is
score.
ready to tackle the challenges ahead. Ready to protect the South's
guys
air,
hear?
water, climate, land.
Yep, I can hear.
Put it on a list.
All right.
Chioke Ianson, and here's your host at the Studebaker Theater in downtown Chicago.
Oh no,
Peter
this
Sagal,
isn't.
Tom Papa.
Maybe it is.
Thanks, Chioke. And thank you, everybody. This week was President's Day, and we're honoring George Washington's 293rd birthday by trying to bake a cake you can safely eat with a wooden teeth.
Just be careful blowing out those candles, George, or your whole mouth is going to go up in flames.
Since we're already celebrating, let's keep the party going with one of our favorite guests from the past few years, actor, writer, and comedian John Leguizamo.
Peter started by asking him how it felt to finally achieve the pinnacle of show business success, his own PBS special.
Yes, an overnight success after 40 years.
So the series American History of the Untold History of Latinos, I understand, was inspired by one of your many one-man shows. In this case, your own personal examination of Latino history, right?
Yes, it was based on Latin history from morons because...
I wanna touch on what Akuda said just quickly, because that looks pretty awesome. Akuda says, I have MV specifically. You're able to add plugins you make or from elsewhere and import assets in. I've had it for years, but I've never bothered to take the time to learn. On another note, the first chapter of an audiobook I recorded released Friday. That is cool. That's really cool, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, I think you can. I think we've got links open in there. But you can also link it in the Discord. Would you drop the Discord link in there again?
Oh, come on. Paste, silly thing. Fine. Yes, I will. Hang on.
And that would mean that it would be easier for us to get back to and look at later. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Akuda. That is, I'm looking forward to it. All right. So back to John Leguizamo.
As I learned...
And I really just want to say... Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was an amazing movie. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything. Should have been, because it had a great cast. But sometimes John Leguizamo in a dress is still just John Leguizamo in a dress. That's all I'm saying.
Someone was being bullied, and I wanted to weaponize his knowledge and his history of his people. I didn't know we finished building the railroads. I didn't realize we were the first fighters to create unions in the 1930s. And then, we've been persecuted, but we've also contributed so much. We just reached a milestone last year. We contributed $3.2 trillion to the GDP yearly as a Latino culture.
Wow. My son is a huge fan of yours, and by that, of course, I mean because of your Ice Age movies and TV
Yes.
shows.
I'm so happy to hear that. We're about to do Ice Age 6.
Ice Age 6!
So you play for those of
I feel like I could sound like John Leguizamo if I tried.
TV shows and video games. You play Sid the Sloth, a prehistoric sloth, and we read that you actually got really deep into the research for his voice. Is that right?
Well, yeah, because I did like 50 voices for the director, Chris Wedge, and he said, I just want you to do your voice. I go, I don't want to do my voice. I want to do a voice. I'm an actor. So I did, Southern voice for the sloth because he's slow. Then I went a little more ghetto. Come on, what you want? And he goes, nah. So then I got Discovery Channel footage. And I saw that sloths stored food in their cheek pouches, and it would ferment and they'd get drunk. And so I started eating a sandwich. And I put it in my cheek pouches, and I walked around the house waiting for it to ferment, and it didn't. But what happened was that I got slushy in my mouth, and I called the director, Chris, guess who this is? And he was like, I have no idea. It's Sid the Sloth. I found myself, and that's how I did the book.
Wow.
That's amazing.
You do belong on PBS.
Yeah. Next time I'm sitting watching the movies with my son, I say, that's historically accurate. Among the many, many things you do, you've done these one-man shows where you play all these characters, and as you just demonstrated, you're really, really, really good at voices. Have you ever used that power for evil?
Yes, of course. I mean, when I was much younger, it was great because people, when the school would complain, they would call my house, and I would answer as my mom, and I go, oh, he what? No, he's fantastic. Oh, you want to expel him? Well, expel it for me. And I would mess with them for hours, and they wouldn't be able to expel me.
Really?
They tried to expel me.
Did your mother know you were doing that?
No. Good. Now she knows now because you blabbered.
You mentioned your mother. We also read that, your mother to this day sees, everything you do and offers a critique afterwards.
Yeah, my mom's very judgmental. And I think I get it from her a little bit. We both watch PBS too much.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm telling you.
And she does. She comes to every show and, she sits front row. And
I remember watching I think it was his first or second stand-up special. And it was this, one-man show. It really felt, very personal, coming of age, telling his whole story. And I mean, it was funny, and it was good, and then I found out, I don't know, maybe a year or two later, that none of it was true. That he made up the entire thing. And I was like, oh my. John Leguizamo did the voice for Sid. Mm-hmm. He is a good actor, even if you don't particularly like him. I am very ambivalent about his movie The Pest. It was really grating and irritating, but also I really, I laughed out loud a lot, and I thought it was actually really funny. So I have real mixed feelings about John Leguizamo in general. And like I said about Tu Wong Fu, you know, great cast, but sometimes John Leguizamo in a dress is just John Leguizamo in a dress. That and even though, oh gosh, what was his name? Roadhouse.
Yes. Swayze?
Swayze. Patrick Swayze is incredible. Was incredible. I do not feel like he could deliver a drag queen with the same gravitas that, well, no one can do anything with the same gravitas that, oh God, what's his name? Agent Smith and Elrond. You're cracking up. I couldn't hear you on that. But yeah, V for Vendetta, that guy. Yes, Red Skull. But when he delivers a drag queen, it is, oh honey, that is a drag queen. That was a drag queen that made me feel like, yes, I am a drag queen. Everyone's crackling now. Am I crackling too? Something I will...
Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, yes. Yes, Hugo Weaving in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was absolutely amazing. I'm crackling too. This is interesting. Makes me wondering. Oh, no, just everyone else was. Okay, then that I think is a... I think... So, by the way, to fix that, I think I have an idea.
Oh dear.
I think I'm gonna set up Discord on... No, I can't do that because then I lose the music. I'll set up Discord on a separate device and bring it into the one spare audio input I have that's outside of the computer right now. Yeah.
Okay.
That should take care of the crackling. I think the crackling happens because the processor is trying to do too much. All right, back to the show. Because if we don't, I'm just going to keep getting distracted.
Then she comes afterwards, oh, Joan, that was fantastic, but I didn't really like the punchline. It didn't really hit the way I thought it would hit. It didn't murder. And I was like, Mom, please stop criticizing. You're just my mom. Just be unconditionally loving for once.
Is she going to critique this? Is she going to listen and go, oh, I don't think you talked about me enough?
I'm not going to tell her about this.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's fine.
That's the only way to keep her away.
Well, John
Thank you,
it's such a pleasure
Akuda.
to talk to you again. And this time we have asked you here to play a game that we're calling...
Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
So this year, as I'm sure you know, because everybody's been celebrating, this year marks the 25th anniversary of Bob the Builder.
Oh, wow.
The beloved kids show about a British contractor whose trucks are alive. So in honor of that, we're going to ask you 3 questions about, I guess we'd call him Mr. Builder. Get 2 out of 3 right, you'll win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is John Leguizamo playing for?
Nora Wing of Ithaca, New York.
All right. Here's your first question.
Oh,
Ready?
yeah, that's right. I remember this.
I'll do my best.
Bob the Builder
because I was all happy to hear Ithaca I-Town be
made internationally to show there, including which of these? A, in France, they had to add clocks to the background to prove that no one goes over there 35-hour approved work week. B, in Canada, Bob always includes maple syrup as a construction material in his projects. Or C, in Japan, they had to add a fifth finger to his animated four-finger hand so that kids did not think Bob the Builder was a member of the Yakuza.
Again, not fair because we've seen
I'm going to
this.
go with Canada and maple syrup because it sounds ridiculous but plausible.
So you think that Bob the Builder in Canada, they just cut in things as a now to make sure this sticks. Here's some maple syrup. That's
Akuda, do you have a guess? Akuda, do you have a guess on this one? We already heard this one. You want to say it's that they have to add another finger so that Bob's not a member of the Yakuza?
Oh wow! I thought that was amazing. I thought I was in Toronto. No, the answer was actually C. You see, as is well known
You got
in
it
Japan,
right.
if you're a Yakuza member and you displease your boss, they cut off one of your fingers. So a four-fingered animated character would have unpleasant connotations.
Oh,
so
that's dark.
It is. It really is.
I didn't want to go that dark.
All right. Here's your next question, John. You have two more chances. Bob the Builder is more than just a very popular kids' TV show. Which of these is another example of Bob's cultural dominance? A, he once went to #1 on the UK singles charts with a cover of Mambo No. 5. B, Alexander McQueen had an entire runway show of Bob the Builder-inspired designs. Or C, he had a best-selling cookbook called Can You Bake It? Yes, You Can.
Oh, man.
I don't remember this
You're
one.
right. Yes, he did a cover of Mambo No. 5.
What a relief.
All right, you have one more question. If you get this right, you win. Bob the Builder popped up in a surprising place a few years ago when people browsing the on-demand menu of Britain's Channel 5 saw a picture of Bob as the image representing what show? A, the season premiere of Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, I
B,
didn't
a
know
documentary
either. I couldn't remember.
about 9/11. Or C, the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
I want to say Eyes Wide Shut.
Sort of the sexual, all this.
Yes, America's Got Talent. Just Bob, just imagine Bob the Builder wearing one of those weird masks that Tom.
What was that? Cat?
I think it was America's Got Talent, but I don't remember that very well.
Oh. Yeah, I don't either. You're going with C also? All right.
The thing is, we know this, we've heard this before, but
it's
also just the fact that we've done so many of these shows in the last year.
Yeah.
That Tom Cruise was having, you know.
I won't picture that, so I'm going to go with A again.
You're going to go with A again. Britain's Got Talent. The idea of like, oh, this guy's got talent. He can build.
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess
to
it's
build
B.
things, right? I mean,
Sadly, the answer was B. A documentary about 9/11.
I mean, wait, no, I meant B. I meant B.
He meant B, Bill. He meant B. Okay. I'm sure. I mean, I thought I misheard you. And of course you were right.
I have an accent. I have a New York City accent.
Exactly. Yeah, and
yeah,
exactly.
I can't think of a more wrong.
You right? Akuda said, go on The Voice for an audition and do a cover of Bob the Builder theme, followed by original Pokemon. All I'm hearing now is Sid. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing is like that's all he did for the voice of Sid was pack some stuff in his cheeks and try to act drunk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, apparently, if the way it worked was, if Channel 5, you know, and this is how it works. You turn on your streaming service. There are these icons indicating the shows you could be watching. And when Channel 5, they didn't happen to have a picture to go with any given show. They just plugged in a picture from Bob the Builder. So Bob was the image for this 9/11 documentary, and also something called "Murdered by My Daughter."
What?
So, Bill, how did John Leguizamo do in our quiz?
2 out of 3.
It'll do.
You did good.
Peanut Gallery just said, Tu Wong Fu is an awesome movie. While it may not measure up to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, It is more mainstream movie, and it is a great positive representation of drag, even if it does not do justice. While Priscilla may be better, it has far less exposure. And I have to agree with that. I do. You are right. It's just from a sort of an insider perspective that a lot of us drag queens sort of feel like John Leguizamo in a dress just didn't do it for us. But yeah.
But Wesley Snipes' legs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he has big legs.
I'm sorry, it just got hot in here. I mean, yeah, you're right about that. Wesley Snipes' legs is amazing. Whew. So before I get distracted by Wesley Snipes' legs some more, let's get back to it.
Amazing. I'm brilliant. I belong on PBS.
John Leguizamo is an actor, writer, and producer whose new series Voces, American Historia, The Untold History of Latinos premieres on PBS September 27th. John Leguizamo, what a great thing to talk to you again. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Good luck with the show. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. So fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Before we wrap up this segment, here's a fun moment with some of our cameras.
Paula, one of the most famous prehistoric animals was the saber-toothed tiger.
Sure.
Fierce and deadly predator.
Oh, yeah.
And scientists now believe they know why they went extinct. What was it?
Because they weren't procreating.
I mean, that has to be correct.
That is, well...
Yeah. More specifically, a lot of the males became unattractive.
Right.
The tooth.
Exactly. They went extinct because of their very big teeth.
Yeah. It's just not appealing to a female of any species.
A saber-toothed tiger, formerly
the whole tooth and nothing but tooth?
Bernie.
A smilodon?
Yes.
That's so adorable. That's like a children's story.
If you talk to a paleontologist and say, oh, do you work with saber-toothed tigers? They'll go, there's no such thing as a saber-toothed tiger. They're called smilodon.
So much to unpack all of a sudden. Smilodon. I feel like that's a bad... See? It's smiling at you. No, that means it's about to eat you. Whole tooth and nothing but the tooth?
Oh no.
I really want to put a dent in that pun, but
no, you want to put a cavity in it.
I was going to use cavity as can't. Yeah. I'm working on it, but I just can't quite get there.
I think I've scraped enough plaque off of this. Let's get going with the gums.
Akuda says, I have to imagine that those tusks would be long enough to poke her in the back. But like a bar, liquor in front.
How do you know that?
You talked. I have been reading a lot of books about old animals.
I feel bad about that one.
I'm not sure what level these books are, because really, there's one wherein it said, don't talk to scientists who study this and mention saber-toothed tiger because they will just lose it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I would like... Wait, don't tell me of the website, doesn't it?
I believe we do, yes.
Okay. I want to see a copy of the book that cautions the reader.
The young reader.
Yeah, I'm assuming. How old is your son that you're reading
My
this
son
book
is
to?
4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're not one of those parents who's already pushing your kid to get into college, are you? All right, I want you to go to college, but here's a tip. When you get in there...
No, he's pushing his kids to go running.
Do not!
For the love of God.
Yeah. Your mother and I love you very much, but there's one thing up with which we cannot put.
Coming up, it's lightning...
Wait a minute, coming up. What's the name of the book?
You're welcome,
This
Trevor.
is why I love Paula Poundstone.
When we come back,
I'm
super
not
producer Mark
saying that
Ronson
one out
and
loud,
ultra runner
but
Tara
thank
Dower.
you.
One of them had their toenails surgically removed, but you're going to have to wait to find out which one.
You're only writing that.
That's when we come back with more Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
What was that?
I'm claiming that he's only writing that there because Lockpick's not present to say the same thing.
Okay, so yeah, he's doing Lockpick's job.
Someone's got to get the gutter balls.
Right. We're about to go into commercial, so let's just keep kibitzing before we go back. Let's see if we can kibitz through commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, I... See, yeah, unfortunately, no, he's not here to do this. Not here to be this problem, but... And of course, Lockpick is never a problem for me.
No.
I know why he's... I think I know part of... Is the what?
I said, I honestly think part of the shock you got from that one is the source.
Yes.
Yeah. That was part of what got me off guard was that you went all the way there. That's not a very... I know that you're capable of it in private, and usually even in private you do it in a low voice.
Mm-hmm.
But... Oh, yeah, that's Deadpan Dog. The American Bully. He's, I will when he comes back around. He's such a sweetie. Poor guy has been, with all
terrorized by the cat.
Well, he was terrorized by the first cat because Death Kitty was a bully. She bullied him. But then Gandalf, he and Gandalf are pretty cool with each other. They're pretty, they don't interact a whole lot, I don't think. But then when I brought home Picanito and Elvato, yeah, he is. He's a gentle giant. He absolutely fell in love with Picanito and Vato. I think more Vato. And he loves the baby, but he's a little delicate in places, and the baby goes reaching for his face and his paws and stuff.
Yep.
So, Gandalf and the baby have really taken to each other. That's the one that's a real partnership. And I think that it is, I love that. I love that for both of them. You know, for the most part, the baby is very gentle with Gandalf. And Gandalf is just so chill and accepting. I mean, Baby Z doesn't know how to pet yet. He's only 14 months. So he's still sort of petting, he's still sort of smacking the cat a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Gandalf just absolutely loves him, so yeah. And yeah, Deadpan Dog has been through some stuff. Before he moved here, he and Jen were stuck with still smacking like dribbling a basketball. Before he and Jen moved in here, they were stuck with, by the way, someone who was incredibly abusive. And so I think the dog may have been... Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I got it now. Still smacking like dribbling a basketball. Yeah. So I think there may have been some there was definitely neglect of Deadpan Dog. I have a feeling that the guy might have hit him some too, and this is a person who I do not like. The person that never mind. We can move on from that. Deadpan Dog has been for the past 4 years or so. He's been in a safe and happy place here.
Has it been that long?
Let's see. Was like...
I think it has been that long.
Yeah, it was like second or... It was like halfway into the first year of pandemic that I had to go, that I went and got them and brought them here. I went to Kentucky.
I remember.
Thank you, Akuda. Yeah. So yeah, it really has been that long.
Wow.
Yeah. He may. Akuda said he may not be able to forget everything, but where he's at now makes that time way less scary and anxiety-inducing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He does still have anxiety. But I think though what he's most worried about these days is just not getting enough attention, because the cats and the baby are getting all the attention.
Of course they are.
So he feels a little neglected these days, and I try to give him some extra love here and there. I try to, but I'm also really busy these days. But he also, for a little while, wasn't allowed back into my room because we had some flea problems, and until I could get the cats fully treated, he wasn't allowed to come back this way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do gotta give him a day when it's just me and him. At some point I should take him for a ride out, just to go out and play. I should take him to a dog park or something.
I don't know where you are, but I know the one here in town is actually pretty nice.
Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of. What is it? Azalea Park or Riverside Park were the two I was thinking.
I was thinking of, I think it's Riverside. It's up there in your garden.
No, that's not Riverside. That's, it's also not Azalea.
No. The one I'm thinking of is up there near Darden Town, near the Wendy's and everything.
Oh, near Darden Town.
Yeah.
Not near Darden.
Sorry.
Darden and Darden Town are on the other side, completely opposite sides of town.
Like I said, I forget that there's a school named Darden as well, so it
is one of the preeminent business schools of the nation.
That shows you how much I actually care about it.
A degree from Darden is... A degree from Darden, a degree in business from Darden is like a degree in engineering from MIT.
I get that, but the thing is I've done food service for retreats for business people from there, and they're just like every other group. You're going to have them all sitting there enjoying and pretending to enjoy their vegetarian meal, and you always have at least 3 off to the side sneaking beef jerky because they just cannot handle another day of all vegetarian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that's... Yeah.
So for me, it's a case of they're just... It is a school, and those are people, and I don't really care that much that they're Darden or UVA or MIT or whatever school. It's like they are people.
I don't know. The difference between Darden and other is that what you'll see with the Darden students is that they'll be selling the beef jerky. 3 or 4 of them sneak in with the beef jerky, and then they're selling bits for like $5.
I think if they had actually tried that, they'd have been actively caught and dissuaded by the teachers on site.
You'd think, but...
Oh, no, because if the kitchen manager that I worked for caught them, she'd have said something to them, so...
Also, Darden pretends that business ethics are very important to it, so it tries to teach business ethics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you brought it up, now I can say it.
What?
We need to find a way to, like, inject, violently if possible, ethics into their curriculum. Real ethics.
Okay, so you guys... you want to know something really surprising? Like, you want... In high school, I took an ethics course. Now, at my high school, most courses were honors or AP level rigorous. This was 101. This was college 101 level stuff.
Right.
Also, I'm with you on the meat. I'm a carnivore. I like veggies, they just don't like me. So, my senior year, it might have been my junior and senior year, but my senior year I took the ethics course. We got a new headmaster, a new head of school. I think it was my junior year. And we had this... The students went through the process of choosing the person. Getting up, buddy? Get up. 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 The students went through the process of making the decision. And we ended up choosing the ethics professor from Darden. The same woman who taught my mom ethics at Darden taught me ethics in high school. I think like the next year or 2 years afterwards. So we did, and this ethics class helped me fully form my ethical code. And so those of you who know my ethical code, this is a lot of the same ethical code that they used to teach to business students at Darden. Which is really, like, it makes you wonder what got lost in translation. I don't want to claim to be a super great person or anything, but I'm pretty sure that my code of ethics is pretty solid. You know, our mission at the entertainment label is to lift up the artists, maintain the artists' rights. You know, like, Kat, everything you're doing, all of the stuff you're making for the music videos and visualizers and stuff.
Yeah.
You're keeping all of the rights to that art. You know, you're granting me use right for the music videos, but you're keeping all the rights to that art. You know, any of our other interior artists are keeping all of the rights to their art. I make that distinction about interior because we are purchasing a lot of art from exterior artists. And that's works for hire kind of stuff. So I feel like because we are purchasing that, we are free to use it how we see fit.
That's kind of in the purchasing contract versus versus what we have interior.
Right. That being said, our company policy is to split merch, to split the merch income from any bit of merch with the artist, even if we've already fully bought and paid for the piece of art. They may not have rights to it, but in our opinion, they still have the right to the income generated by it. Oh, cool. Could have just went and linked the dungeon camp to the main town. As he was too tired to do that yesterday. So, yeah, that's where we are. Like, that's how I feel about business ethics. Just because of what I was exposed to. And I took an active interest in my mom's time at Darden. When she was there, I was paying a lot of attention, especially to her ethics and statistics stuff. And I am one of those few people who does not have a hard time with statistics and actually enjoys that branch of math. I have had friends, like, okay, remember, I've dropped out of college twice. Not just dropped out, I failed out of college twice. But I've had to help friends with their 203 and 303 level statistics courses. And I had to stop myself from doing their homework for them. Like, I did not make it past a 101 course. I didn't even pass 100 level courses in college. Akuda says, same actually, I'm in the process of building a cannabis business and it's made me think about how I want to run it. I've got help now, but I'll be running the company myself, so I'll need to consider this. Yes, you will. I can see if any of my sponsors have some time to talk to you about that. They are all fairly busy. Although Kush Gang has been dropping in on the Saturday streams, so that's been pretty cool. But I will I'll see if I can talk to people at Firehouse or Hidden Leaf. Speaking of which, it's about time for another ad read. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, on the Downtown Mall, 105 West Main Street, above the Bricks, Suite 200, between the Green Cauldron and Hamilton's. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, eh, bud? And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research. By which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. The website is thehiddenleafseville.com. Check the website for times and events. That's thehiddenleafseville, all one word, .com. I do think these rosin pouches are working. I got all the way through the ad read without a problem. So, Akuda, I'm trying these out right now. I can't wait for it to be federally legal either, man. These are basically, I mean, they're live rosin jaw pouches, chew pouches. Like, you stick them in your jaw like chaw. And they are pretty alright. They're pretty alright. If you've... Oh my God. You're in Washington State. You're going to be the second largest in Washington and the third largest in Oregon. Crime eminently nutsy. That is wonderful. I like that. That is wonderful. That is. I definitely. Yeah. Okay. I would be happy to shill for you. They could have said, I'll keep some ideas in the background, and when things line up, we'll work out some sponsorships. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah. I have a feeling that well, I don't know. Because Sky Mall is out of California. I was going to say, I'm not sure that any of the businesses around here would know anything for Washington. But Sky Mall is out of California, I think. So they may have some idea about stuff in Washington. Because I'm guessing they do some business up there, too. Sky Mall is an associate company of the Hidden Leaf. And of course, Firehouse is the company that we work with for the DJ streams. I've got something fun to premiere on the DJ stream tonight. I finally got my Firehouse hoodie.
Oh,
they didn't
nice.
They still haven't got the ones with the printing on the back.
Well,
and I kind of want one of those because it's the printing on the back is sorry if it smells like weed. It's like, thank you. I feel recognized. But
I'm sorry. Now I've got a picture of someone that has made a submarine sandwich with the wrong kind of lettuce inside, and that's why it says sorry on the back of this.
Okay. Did you know? Did you know that lettuce has THC in?
We covered this once before.
It's just
where we were both very
right.
astounded that the taste of sadness had redeeming properties.
Yes. Lettuce, more like trimmings. Maybe we'll still have a few things before we start rolling in the operations. Eventually we'll have dispensaries and such. We'll get to a point where we can start doing advertising and such. Nice. Yeah. Lettuce has THC in. Very, very small amounts. And I also don't know if it has any of the other cannabinoids in it. It might just be THC.
All right, remind me. THC is something that is not totally disrupted by heat, correct?
Not totally.
Okay.
Generally, in its... No wonder weed is sometimes called the devil's lettuce. Exactly. To get it in its raw form on the vegetation, you don't want to get it above 199 degrees, or else it will start releasing the volatiles.
All right.
THC is the result of THCA being heated.
All right, reason I'm asking is because I just had
That I know, but...
I just had the reminder about some of the more traditional minestrone soups that I've had that are full chopped lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a case of, the soup is pretty much made and the lettuce is added in like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't... if the soup is hot when the lettuce hits it, it might release the THC, but it wouldn't, damage it.
So I'm just thinking of some of those vats, because I have helped make, 15-gallon soup pots full of vegetarian soup and chopped up head after head after head of lettuce to throw into this soup and then served it to a whole bunch of retreat people that all really seemed to like it. I'm like, that's a thought.
That would still just be a minuscule amount of THC.
True, but it was just one of those thoughts of maybe there's a reason why they actually like that soup better than the others.
I mean, yeah, it may be just enough to ping those receptors just a little bit. one I was looking. If I smoke bud, I should look into vaporizers. There's enough heat to produce smoke. Yes, I do. I do think about vaporizers. Part of why I smoke the pre-rolls like I do is because they are really easy to smoke on stream. It's really easy just to pull out a pre-roll and go, brought to you by the Hidden Leaf. Mm-hmm. I have considered doing a vape at home when I'm not. I had a few back in the day, but they were unreliable, and I had a hard time getting temperature sensing settings right, and the different dry grind would require different temperature settings. I'd get this one weed this one time, and it'd be 165 would be what it wanted to be at, and then I'd get another one, and at 165 it was tech basically makes it a cannabis hookah rig. Now one of the other things I was thinking of getting a mini e-nail. I would think about getting a mini e-nail, just to, for a vaporizer. I would have to get a bowl that could handle it, because, I could go dry through a bong, but Thank you. I just accepted your friend request. But yeah, I would, because of the cystic fibrosis, I'm really not supposed to smoke through water. Although, up at the Leaf, I push that because their dab rigs, their e-nail dab rigs, are through water. They're basically bongs. But when I do that, I usually pick the tallest one with the least amount of water in. Also, the heat from the coil doesn't seem to be passing to the water so much. So it's not... I don't know. But I definitely take an extra couple of handfuls of breathing meds before I go doing them bong dab rips up at the Leaf. It is a coolant, which is part of why I shouldn't do it. Because as hot smoke hits cool water, it will vaporize some of that water. Or hot vapor hits it, it'll vaporize some of that water. And when that water vapor gets into my lungs, because of the cystic fibrosis, have a hard time getting the fluid out. So it's a whole weird thing. And sometimes I wonder if I really can justify doing the dabs out of the water rigs. I plan to get a Puffco though. There is a place down the street from from the Hidden Leaf. All right, yeah. The rosin definitely must be kicking in because I'm like slowing down. I must be feeling the effects. There's a spot down the street called Carytown Tobacco that sells Puffcos, and they're sort of the Carytown is sort of the sister store for the Hidden Leaf. It's where, it's where everybody who works at the Leaf goes to get their papers or their backwoods or their Puffcos. And the counter guy from Carytown comes up and does dabs up at the Leaf a bunch. He's in there almost as often as I am. So they kind of... They got some... I think the people from Carytown might get a discount at the Leaf, and the people from the Leaf might get a discount at Carytown. The downtown mall can be really great and very sort of family, but it can also be really awful and kind of sort of family. It is such a... I have feelings about it. I have very conflicting feelings about it. I am ambivalent about the downtown mall.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the show.
This message comes from them get more. You will fix step to
So invest on your life. Find your...
I'm Chioke Ianson, and here's your host at the Studebaker Theater in the Fine
Now
Arts
that you've
Building
made
in
me
downtown
yap
Chicago,
for an hour, yeah.
filling in for Peter Sagal, Tom Papa.
Thank you, Chioke. This
The
week we're
rosin
celebrating
pouch is
President's
still
Day by
releasing
building our
flavor.
own team of rivals with some of our favorite guests from the past few years.
I'm having so much fun. I can't wait to see what we do for Autocrats Day next year.
Oh. While we prepare for that, here's our interview with Grammy-winning producer Mark Ronson. When he joined us in August of 2023, guest host Negin Farsad asked him if he remembered the first time he heard the mega hit Uptown Funk in the wild.
I do. I remember being in an Uber and hearing it, I think I was coming home. Maybe I was a little drunk coming home from a club at 2 a.m. and it was the first time I ever heard it on the radio, and it was the most exciting thing ever. And I remember saying to the driver, I was like, this is me. But he's listening to Bruno Mars going don't believe it, and he's like, it doesn't sound like you. I obviously know. I mean, I produced it, but anyway, no, it was so exciting.
Did you have an inkling then that it was going to be this worldwide phenomenon?
Uptown Funk, gonna give it to you.
Driver's reaction, but I thought you know what it was? That song we worked on for a really long time, about 7 or 8 months, because Bruno was such a perfectionist. I kind of am. Jeff Basker, the other producer, we are in our work. So by the time we finally stopped bickering about it and got it to a point where we all felt good, we're like, wow, if it passed this peanut gallery, at least we know, we feel good about it. But everything that happened after that was just such a wonderful thing. I mean, when you put a song out, it's no longer yours. It belongs to everybody, and then they decide what happens with it. So
I couldn't agree
that's
more.
What happened with that song.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about being a DJ. We talked before the show, and as you know, I have in fact shaken my booty, as it were, at a club where you were DJing, and it was just an incredible night. It was so fun, but it made me think you probably see a lot of weird stuff on the dance floor. Are you like basically embarrassed for everyone as you see them dancing to your music, or?
No, if anybody's dancing, that's good enough for me. So I mean, I have seen some.
Really?
One of my favorite things, in my early days of DJing in clubs in New York in the 90s, RuPaul once came into the club. It was somewhere where I was
that's
DJing,
a win.
and this was when Ru was in sort of plain clothes in a very handsome suit and came up to me and was just like at the end of the night, "You're making me dance so much, you're making my booty hurt." And I so cool that I put that on a business card. I just made these little business cards that just said like, "You're making my booty hurt, RuPaul." Available for weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Well, let's talk about Barbie, another worldwide phenomenon. I want to talk to you about scoring the movie, which you also did. Now that you've scored a movie, do you find yourself scoring like dramatic moments in your own life? Or just like mundane, like you're just like chatting with the barista, and then it's like.
It's funny because now I'm just so hyper attuned to like it could be the music in a Burger King commercial. I'm like, oh, I see why they did that.
Yep. That song legit slaps. Have it your way.
So I heard this weird factoid about you. Is it true that the song "I Want to Know What Love Is" was written about your mom?
Yes. That is absolutely true.
I would hope so, because that would have been insulting. You don't can't talk about somebody's mama like that.
Yeah, my stepfather, Mick Jones, who my mom married when I was 10, and
wow.
He wrote that song, for her, and it's like, I mean, it's definitely setting the bar pretty high, like as a kid, like, okay, well, you're not going to write anything as good as that for anybody,
Yep.
But also, what was more funny is that he had written a song. He tried to tell that he wrote the song "Waiting for a Girl Like You" as well. That was another big ballad that he had for her, and she was like, "You wrote that song like 5 years before you met me." He's like, "Right, but I was waiting for a girl like you."
Now that's man math right there.
Yeah. I know.
If he pulled it off, that was a successful charisma check.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Well, Mark, we've asked you here to play a game that we're calling...
What about that downtown funk?
That'd be me. I am the downtown
So
funk.
you, of course, released the smash hit.
Did you say something, Peanut Gallery?
I said, "Excuse me," directly after you said the title.
Oh.
Yes.
Right before I said that would be me.
Mm-hmm.
I know it smells like weed in here. I'm sorry I farted.
Uptown funk. So we're going to ask you about downtown funk, or stinky city smells. And amazingly, in this quiz, we only use the word urine once. Now, answer 2 out of 3 questions correctly, and you'll win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who's Mark Bronson playing for?
Brad Martin of Seattle, Washington.
All right.
It's a 206. I have to represent.
Yeah.
Brad, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, here's your first question. Most towns come to their funks naturally, but some create their own, including Lincoln, Nebraska, which in the winter smells like what? Is it A, nutmeg, which they mix in with their road salt? Is it B, new car smell from their factory that makes artificial new car smell, kicking up production? Or is it C, animal pee, which they spray on their pine trees to keep people from stealing them for Christmas trees?
I'm going with C. I am definitely
I'm
going
going to
with
go with C, because that's the funkiest.
And that is correct. The answer is animal pee.
The whole thing about the funk, and I know that I'm not on camera for most people, is like that kind of face, and like nutmeg does not make you me.
All right, here's your next question. Lots of cities have bad smells, but not every city has a song about how bad it smells. Which of these is a real recording? Is it A, The Aroma of Tacoma? Is it B, My Dear Eureka, How Eureka? Or is it C, Pueblo, Colorado, smells like a rotten egg made of dead skunks?
I'm going with A.
Good luck punching that one up, Ronson.
But I feel like...
I'm going to go with A.
Yes, it is The Aroma of Tacoma.
Because that would make a great song.
Some combination of a paper mill, an oil refinery, and Tacoma's natural stank made a smell so strong it was immortalized in song. Not gonna lie, it's a bop, actually.
Do you know that mill is closing down? So the aroma of Tacoma is going away in the next few months. So sniff it while you got it, people.
All right, so
Paper
last
factories
question.
smell terrible.
GQ magazine published a list of the best-smelling cities in the world, including New Orleans, which they praised for what combination of scents? Was it A, incense and sweat? Was it B, old beer and frying fat? Or was it C, strawberry hurricanes and puked up strawberry hurricanes?
Yeah! I think it was B.
This C sounds so good.
I'm sorry, the answer is B, old beer and frying fat got New Orleans on the good smelling list. All right, Bill, how did Mark do on our quiz?
Well, he's a winner, 2 out of 3. Mark, congratulations. We'll give you another Emmy for this.
Mark Ronson is a Grammy and Oscar-winning producer, writer,
Forget
and
an
DJ
Emmy, I
who
want a
composed the
gimme.
score and produced the soundtrack for the Barbie movie. Mark Ronson, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thanks so much.
In November this past year, we talked to ultra runner Tara Dower. She had just become the fastest person to ever complete the Appalachian Trail, having hiked all 2,200 miles in just over 40 days.
The numbers were so unbelievable. Peter.
Now, I will say, I do the AT in heels. Like, I don't through hike the Appalachian Trail, but I definitely spend time on portions of the Appalachian Trail around here, and I do it in heels.
Mm-hmm.
I would still not run any of the Appalachian Trail. A speed run sounds like such a terrible idea.
I mean, most speed runs of anything, technically, sound like a terrible idea, but yeah.
Unless it's a video game.
Yeah. But no, the real, I mean, like, doing the AT as fast, it just...
And I'm alright, she did that in 40 days.
Right.
She's the opposite of us.
Yes.
We took 4 days to do a 1 hour video.
Right. Right. No, we took 4 weeks to do a 1 hour video.
I'm only counting the days that we were actually sitting on Twitch together doing it, because...
Okay. But yeah, I know I told this story last time too, but there was that guy running for Charlottesville City Council, mayor? I don't remember. There's a guy running for...
He was running for an office of some sort.
Right. Waldo.
Yeah.
When he was... like a couple of years before he did that, he tried to stream hike the AT.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to stream as much of his hike of the AT as possible. And he tried to he broke his foot, he broke 5 feet and before he quit. He broke his feet 5 times And I don't think he was trying to go exceptionally fast.
No, that's the thing. He wasn't.
So I just wonder how she managed to do this without breaking ankles, feet, knees, and some of even the harder bones to break, like the femur. You know? Like, I could see falling.
Removing toes.
Huh? Toenails?
Remember, she is contemplating removing toes to help her.
Toenails. Toenails, not toes. Toenails. She had her toenails removed.
Yeah.
The
only thing I can think of is to go along with the speed and the stamina is that she is incredibly limber and able to navigate through and around things in ways that
she's also probably capable of falling. She's probably capable of falling and not getting hurt. She knows what a good fall is.
Yeah.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah. All right. Back to her interview, because it is worth listening to.
It is.
Well, Peter had to double check them.
First question, did we get the numbers right? About 2,200 miles, end to end, Maine to Georgia, and you did it in 40 days, 18 hours, 5 minutes. Is that right?
6 minutes.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you are scrupulous.
So
1
break
minute
that
off.
down. To travel that far in that period of time, how far did you have to travel per day, and how much time did it take to travel, to run every day?
The least amount of miles I did in a day was about 35, and the most I ever did was 62 in a day, and every day I was moving for about, on average, like 17 and a half hours a day.
17 and a half hours. Okay.
On rough terrain.
Amazing. And how much were you able to sleep?
On average, about 5 hours.
And at what point, I mean, I guess you ran from Maine to Georgia, so were you starting to hallucinate by the time you were in New York, say?
Yeah, well, the compounding exhaustion came around, I'd say Maryland, it got pretty bad. I remember some little hallucinations I had, like little devils sitting on logs. And
those weren't hallucinations.
And I saw a white cat and a lion, and I saw my friend sitting on a log. So the hallucinations were getting pretty bad around the middle of the trail. Maryland is about halfway through.
Well, it must be comforting knowing, that's not real. There's not a cat and a devil here.
Until you get to Virginia.
There's no
At which point, yes, it is real.
Well,
and keep running.
I've had hallucinations during 100-mile races that I've done, and some of those have been really concerning.
Yeah.
And I think...
give us an example.
I'm lucky. There was a hunter with a huge, ginormous gun, and he was asking me where I was going and what I was doing, and I was like, oh crap, is this real? And it was in the middle of the night. It was at 2 a.m. on a trail by myself.
If you ask a hallucination, if they're a hallucination, they have to tell you.
That's a rule.
Do you eat while you run?
Yes, yeah. I mean, you have to be utilizing. You have to eat.
How do you not get
can.
cramps?
I mean, I'm eating. I think it was 8,000 to 10,000 calories a day. So
bananas.
You just have to
I guess
eat
lots
and
of
run.
bananas.
You have to do as much as you can when you run.
And do people?
The only time I stopped during the day was to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
They have bathrooms in the trail. That's nice. And so when you say you're eating, so you're just people
she thought it was a bathroom.
Thanks
you may
for
have
telling me, Crystal.
That could have been someone's car.
That explains
you can't
why.
guarantee that was a bathroom.
So I'm trying to feel that you're running along and your friends are with you. You have a lot of support, I know, in order to do this. And they run up to you and they hand you a banana or whatever it is you're eating, and you just stuff it in your face as you keep running.
Yeah, that's why BBS is on for so long.
Yeah, just keep moving, eat. My favorite was gummies, and I like Rice Krispie treats and goldfish. I loved goldfish.
Right.
Wow, that's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you're surprised?
I was expecting you to be like broccoli and then other forms of broccoli.
A couple more questions. First of all, I understand that you said once that you have decided after lots of experiences, negative, positive, but you've just decided that you're done with toenails.
Oh yeah, I got 4 toenails permanently removed before I went out on the trail, and that was the best decision I ever made.
Wow. You just were like, you were done with them. You were tired of them getting bloody and coming off.
Oh yeah.
How did
they would
you
fall
choose?
off all the time.
Were you playing this little piggy?
Yeah.
Like, this little piggy goes.
This little piggy gets slaughtered.
Yeah, that was it. We just did eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No, so my big toenails are always the ones during these feats. They always like fall off, and it's very painful, and they get infected. And so I was like, that one's coming off, and then. I asked the podiatrist if we could take them all off, and he was like, "No, but we can do 2 at a time." So I decided
It's
on
like
just
Sophie's
a random
choice
toenail.
with toes.
I mean, I guess
what's
you
next?
choose
What's
the
next,
ones that are always
achievement, and
going.
When are you going to be ready to do it?
Yeah, I guess tonight, and to see how fast I can get through, a pint of ice cream.
There you go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Well, Tara, we are delighted to talk to you, and we have asked you here to play a game that this time we are calling
Try a Stroll Down These Appalachian Tales.
So you ran the whole Appalachian Trail, but you went through it too fast this last time to hear any of the myths and legends of that particular region. So we're going to ask you 3 questions about folktales from the places you
whistle
ran through.
at night.
And if you get 2 right, you'll win our prize for one of our listeners, the voice of anyone they like on
And
their
if it looks like it's a
voicemail.
deer,
So,
but it's
Joshua,
not,
who is
it's not
Tara
a
playing
deer,
for?
you didn't see it
Sarah
and don't think
Odell
about it.
of Redmond, Washington.
If you
Okay.
think you heard something you didn't,
Here we go.
don't think
Here's
about
your
it.
first
You think
question
you saw
about
something,
Appalachian
you
tales.
didn't. Don't
In
think
West
about it.
Virginia, they still celebrate the Mothman. That's the mysterious creature that first appeared in 1966.
Who
near
now
Point
has junk in
Pleasant,
the
West
trunk.
Virginia. What was the headline in the Point Pleasant Register newspaper the day after the Mothman's first sighting? Was it A, insects seem to be rather large this year? B, couples see man-sized bird, creature, something? Or C, annual rummage sale draws record crowds?
I think it was C.
I'm gonna have to say B.
You're gonna go B, couple see man-sized bird, creature, something. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
To be fair, it was something, and there is now an annual Mothman Festival in Point Pleasant if you want to go down there and find out all about it.
So cool.
She's like, it's a hallucination.
All right, here's your next question. Now, while
Hallucinate.
Mothman is probably the most famous Appalachian cryptid, he's not the only one out there. Next time you run the trail, you might also run into which of these? A, the phantom trucker who stopped to use the bathroom at south of the border and never returned. B, the lost hiker and angry ghost who died of starvation and demands trail mix from every passerby. Or C, a Bigfoot-like creature called wood booger.
I think it's B, but C
man.
sounds really
I'm gonna have to say
familiar
B.
You're
too.
gonna go for the lost hiker, the ghost that demands trail mix from every passerby? No, it was the wood booger.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's
know the
called
wood booger.
It's called the wood
Yeah.
booger because he's like the boogeyman. He's not because of his texture. He's boogeyman. Okay. Last question. If you get this one right, you win. You've heard of Sasquatch, right? There are stories of Sasquatch in the area. But in West Virginia, there is a terrifying beast that, unlike Sasquatch, walks on all 4s. Right? Sasquatch stands up. What do they call this mysterious creature? A, the sheep squatch. B, big feet. Or C, independent Senator Joe Manchin.
I would say
I mean,
A.
other
You're
than
going for
C,
A, sheep
it's
squatch.
A.
That's right, Tara. It's called It's called sheep squatch because of its thick white fur, or so they say. Joshua, how did Tara Dower do in our quiz?
Well, normally she just got the 2 points, but every one of the toes that she sacrificed is actually worth a quarter point. So we're just going to give you a perfect score.
No, it was toes, not toenails. You were right, Kat. It was toes. I'm sorry.
Tara Dower is the fastest person ever to complete the Appalachian Trail. Tara Dower, thank you so much for joining us on Way Done. Yeah. And get some rest. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wow.
When we come back, one of the most fashionable people to ever walk a red carpet and the actor who made jury duty look fun. That's when we come back with more Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
Therapy with BetterHelp offers
Sponsor McCormick.com.
building in downtown Chicago, filling in for Peter Sagal, Tom Papa.
Thanks, Yogi. This week we're honoring President's Day by listing as many executives-in-chief as we can.
So far, I've got Washington, Lincoln, and the guy Harrison Ford played on Air Force One.
We'll keep working on our list. In the meantime, here's some great guests from the recent past. In February of 2023,
Should have seen that
guest
joke
host
coming.
Peter Grosz talked with Tony, Grammy, and Emmy winner Billy Porter, who became iconic for his amazing, elaborate red carpet looks.
Peter asked him about how he almost skipped acting entirely to become a Pentecostal preacher.
And I preached my first sermon when I was probably around 10 or 11, and I knew immediately. Nope.
Well, we are all...
It's not the traditional, it's not the traditional way.
We're very happy that you were so unhappy at that point. You are a style and fashion icon, in addition to, we'll get to performing and stuff that you do, but I'm really, as somebody who, you can't see me, Billy, but I am wearing an extremely boring outfit.
Just to follow up on that, Billy, Peter's outfit right now, he bought at whitecishman.com.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's about to ask us. He looks like he's about to ask us to leave the restaurant.
Adam, you can stay. But no, Billy.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
My question was going to be, you're always sort of pushing the envelope, and every time you have a look that's goes in a new direction, and it's sort of stakes out new ground. Do you feel sort of pressure every time you have a new event? Like, what is it like for you to sit with a designer and think, what are we going to do next? How am I going to top my last thing? Or do you even feel that pressure?
No, I don't really feel that because it's what comes naturally for me.
Good.
And I also have a styling team, Ty Hunter and Colin Anderson, and sometimes others.
That's fun.
I have a lot of, I choose it, but they know what I like.
Yeah, what options to give you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Whenever I see people on the red carpet, there's always someone skulking behind them, like tugging at a hem or something, or you know what I mean, like positioning the gap. Who is that person? And
what is the name of that job?
And how did they get into that job? I just really want to tug at things for a living.
That's really funny. Most of the time, it is either a publicist, because they don't let a whole lot of people on the red carpet anymore.
Oh, I know.
Since COVID, you don't have a whole lot.
Well, also, Billy, many of your outfits are very large. They take up a lot of space. So you're a perfect person for the COVID era, because if you're wearing, are there any things that you've worn on the red carpet that's like extremely fashionable and extremely stylish, but also extremely uncomfortable? That then, like during the award ceremony or the event that you're in, you're just like, I'm going to change it to some sweatpants because I'm going to sit here for 3 hours. I can't be sitting in this like birdcage looking cape thing or whatever.
You have to think about that and think about what you're going to take off.
Yeah.
The hat that I wore to the Grammys that opened and closed.
Yep. For people who don't know, it was this hat that sort of had this, it was like a 180-degree sort of curtain that was motorized, and he's saying it was very heavy, and it motorized, and it just opened up like a curtain in front of his face.
It hurt so bad, it left a mark.
Oh my God.
No, I believe it.
It left an indentation. It was so heavy.
I was going to say, you're a singer, you're an actor, you're a director, you have a degree in screenwriting. Is there anything that you're like bad at?
Yes, a lot of stuff. I can't draw. I can't play the piano. That's my biggest dream. I think it's God's way of making sure I stay humble. If I could sit down and play the piano for myself while I sang, I wouldn't need nobody.
So you're in this new movie, 80 for Brady, about 4 women in their 80s who go see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Still haven't seen this,
Can you
but I
tell us
really
about
want
it?
to see it.
First of all, it's the gayest sports film ever made.
I don't know, Mighty Ducks.
And it creates a conversation subversively. It doesn't seem like we would be together, but yet we are. And the story reaches everybody.
Did you talk him into retiring again?
What do you think he should
That was
do?
not me.
What can you see Tom Brady doing next? What would be a fun sort of like left turn thing for him to do?
I mean, I love you all, and I love Tom Brady. But I don't have the brain space to think about what he should do next.
Got it.
That for himself.
Got it. You
Wow.
got it.
Wow.
This has been
My
really
brain is already full up.
good. Yeah, you think about you. You think about you, Billy Porter. And you know what? We're going to think about you, too, because we have asked you here to play a game that we are calling.
And Andy Davis as Alice.
Your new movie is about a bunch of Tom Brady fans, so we thought that we would ask you about the original Brady Bunch, which is the Brady Bunch.
Marsha.
So answer 2 of our 3 questions correctly about the most successful second marriage in TV history, and you will win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is Billy Porter playing for?
Kathy Kim of Los
American
Angeles,
television
California.
history.
All right, here we go. Here's your first question. For our younger listeners, The Brady Bunch was a sitcom about a blended family with 3 boys and 3 girls. And one source of tension was that all 6 kids shared one bathroom, which was especially difficult. Why? Was it A, each kid used a different shampoo, so there was barely room in the shower for a person? B, the bathroom didn't have a toilet? Or C, the bathroom didn't have any doors? Something
I
real.
want to say C.
C, the bathroom didn't have any doors?
I'm going with B.
Yeah.
The answer was actually B. The bathroom did not have a toilet. It did not have a toilet.
What?
In 1970, here's why. In 1970, you could not show a toilet on television.
What?
That's why those kids all held it in for 5 years. Pretty insane. Okay, you still have 2 chances to win here, Billy, so we're going to keep going. Here's your next question.
Okay. I watched the Brady Bunch a lot, but I didn't watch it like that.
No, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't. In one of the most famous episodes, Peter Brady hits Marcia with a football and he breaks her nose. So how did the director of the episode film that stunt? Was it A, they used a macrame football that the director's wife had made? Was it B, Maureen McCormick, the actress who played Marcia, threw a football away from her face and then they ran the film backwards? Or was it C, they actually hit Maureen McCormick in the face with a football?
C.
All right, I'll say C.
You'd be right. Very good. They actually did it several times, apparently, because the prop guy off screen kept missing her nose.
Wow.
So they had to do it over and over again. Okay, here's your last question. If you get it right, you're going to
Doing
win.
TV in the 70s was like, yeah.
It's called
We
Marsha.
got laws in place now.
I know.
It's called Marsha's Law.
It's called Marsha's Law. Very specific. You can't throw anything harder than a taco. I don't know. All right, here's your last question. Nowadays, the Brady Bunch is considered a classic, but in the 1970s, the cast, they weren't really such a big deal. For example, which of these is true? Was it A, they had to pay to park at the lot at ABC?
Ooh.
B, the cast was not provided food except for the bag lunches that Carol Brady made during the episode. Or C, the then president of ABC thought that all of their last names were actually Brady.
It sounds
I
like
think
all
A.
of the above.
You'd be right again. It was A. They had to pay to park at ABC. Bill, how did the other Billy Porter do on our quiz?
Billy Porter got 2 out of 3.
That's
you won,
messed
Billy.
up.
Great job.
Oh, thank you.
Billy, it was a pleasure.
I already
you
dropped
are a
my F-bomb
treasure.
this year, so I couldn't say
and
that.
it was just a real joy to talk to you. Yeah. You can see Billy Porter in the new film 80 for Brady. Billy Porter, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
This message comes from Thuma. Create your oasis with Thuma, a modern design company that specializes in furniture and home goods. By stripping $100 12 in the save at Whole Foods Market.
Case, and that one of his fellow jurors was actor James Marsden. You know what? We'll just let him explain it.
Basically, it was how do we create the office with populate the jury duty with a bunch of improv artists, myself playing a kind of heightened version of myself, a sort of entitled Hollywood celebrity, version of myself, and one guy that thinks the whole thing is real.
So, but I'm very curious as to how you got involved in this very experimental thing. I imagine they say to you, we want you to play this arrogant version of yourself to see if we can annoy our hero enough to hate you, and the whole thing may be a complete disaster, in which case everyone will hate you for pranking this guy. And you're like, sign me up?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I guess
How do you pitch this to Marsden?
It didn't sound fun to kind of lampoon your, and like I said, the entitled Hollywood actor who just wants every conversation to be about him.
Right, right. So you've been talking about it, doing a lot of interviews, and I read that you said that at certain points during the production, you actually began to worry if you were the one that they were trying to fool somehow. Like if the real thing was, let's get James Marsden and tell him that we're doing this thing with another person who doesn't know that it's fake, but in reality, that's an actor, and James won't know that it's fake.
Literally true. I mean, I've never done a project like this, so you don't trust anyone.
TV producers. You just don't trust TV producers to begin with.
Episode, you reveal everything to him. And how did it feel on that day? Were you guys worried about what his reaction would be? Were you afraid, for example, he'd freak out and be angry or upset or something?
Yes. We were more nervous about that moment than any other moment in the show because, you just think, well, if that was me, how would I react? I mean, I can't even handle a surprise birthday party, let alone being surrounded by, and everyone in his reality for 3 weeks was putting on a show. And that's a long time to mess with somebody's human experience, 3 weeks of their life. So we made sure that we all ran up to him immediately afterwards and let him know that, yes, all those, the kind of absurd circumstances that we put him through was fake, but the friendships and like getting to know each other, that was all very real.
Right. And I heard that you had to spend time with him and like talk him down and like assure him that you really, after it was all over, and like, no, I really like you, we're friends.
So I kept in touch with him for a good, a couple of weeks, months after, just checking on him to see how he was doing, and he was like, a couple of weeks after, he was like, am I still being filmed?
Well, James, is there a camera in the flower pot, really?
There's no reason why you should believe me, but I promise you, it's all over, my friend. All you do is keep it a secret for 1 year now until the show comes out.
Damn, that would be even worse. That would be like...
I have played the guy who gets the girl, like in 27 Dresses, and you play the guy who should get the girl but doesn't, like in The Notebook.
Go on, twist the knife.
You have to agree with like every right-thinking person that in The Notebook, Rachel McAdams should have married you. I mean, come on.
Right. Okay, so...
That didn't create quite a stir in the audience there, though.
No.
I made it... The Notebook... Okay, wait. Let me make sure I've got the right one here before I say this. The Notebook is the one that was starring... what's his name? And he was a carnival performer, right? Trying to hit on this.
I have to poke fun at you for a moment. Yeah, it was the one starring, what's his name, and that lady.
Yeah.
He did that thing.
Yeah. What's his name and that lady that did that thing? Exactly. It's not the one that was British. All of a sudden, Akuda, I don't sound so smart, do I? I think I'm thinking about The Notebook, and I didn't make it, but maybe 15 minutes in before I was like, that dude's toxic. That dude is not okay. Like, if she goes for that dude, this movie is not a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's how I felt about The Notebook. It was
like The Notebook or the Lake House.
What's the Lake House about?
That's the one with semi-time travel. If I'm remembering the title.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely not the Lake House. This was the one, it was a period piece set in the late 40s, early 50s, I think.
Let's see. The one I've looked up, it's older guy is reading to, well, here, where's the synopsis?
No.
Elderly man reads to a woman with dementia the story of two young lovers whose romance is threatened by the difference in their respective social classes. So it keeps bouncing between the now when he's reading what's in the notebook and the then when the notebook was written.
Okay, and who stars in it other than James Marsden?
Well, I don't see his name on here. I see James Garner and Ryan Gosling. But
that's the one I'm thinking. And
okay.
Ryan Gosling was the name I was trying to come up with.
Okay.
And Ryan Gosling's character is like toxic. Super toxic. Like he gets the girl by threatening suicide. By threatening, not just threatening suicide, but by threatening to drop off of a Ferris wheel in front of everyone. Oh. Right. Yeah, no, I have a very... Jeez, Peanut Gallery. I have some very strong opinions about The Notebook. Like I said, I didn't make it but a few minutes in before I was like, nah, dude's toxic. He's threatening suicide if the chick doesn't like dump the guy she's on the date with now and go out with you.
Yeah.
And that's just like, yeah. That happens really early on. That happens like really, really early on, and I was like, I can't. Like, nah. This is. I was like, I can't keep going because this dude. And I was watching it with a romantic partner. And she was like, oh, I love this. I love this. It's such a, it's such a sort of love story. I love this movie. It makes me feel so good. And then he does that, and I call it out, and she goes, oh, my God. And it doesn't get better. And she turns it off, looks at me, and goes, I mean, thank you, but also thanks for ruining The Notebook for me.
I get that. Because I have had that happen on other things.
Well, honestly,
with other people,
in my limited experience with with a number of romantic movies, really, if you look at them with a certain critical eye, most of them are extremely toxic.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's why I'm not that into love stories anymore. Like.
All right. What is the first romantic play that everybody has to learn about?
Oh, yeah, right. Star-crossed lovers. Star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, dual suicide. Not only that, but the Juliet character exists as exists pretty much contingent upon the Romeo character. The Romeo character is a fully formed, fully rounded character. Juliet's personality consists of a fair maid of but 13 summers.
Right. So you not only have the star-crossed, and you have the family drama, and you have the misogynistic, you are just my add-on extension in the browser, babe.
Right. Basically.
But you also have, how old was Romeo?
They never say.
Yeah, they make a
They
really
never
clear.
point that out. He could have been any age.
But they're really clear how old Juliet is.
Right?
Because if she was too much older, she'd be on the shelf.
Right. Akuda says The Fault in Our Stars is so much better. That should be the love story. I have not seen The Fault is in Our Stars.
I've seen trailers and clips, and it does appear. It does appear better. It's. I know that it won some writing awards as a novel.
Okay. I know that I've seen movies that were friend stories that felt like a much better representation of a good relationship between a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sort of there on that. It's based on a true story that John Green wrote about an actual girl. She was a fan of his. Oh, it's the John Green book. That's why I know it. That's why I know the name. All right. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I definitely, I like the Vlog Brothers. Hank is more my speed than John. And part of that, I think, is, I can see more similarities between myself and John Green than myself and Hank Green. And I think that's why I enjoy watching Hank Green more. There's a strong religious component to both my identity and to his identity, even though the religions are exceptionally different. There's and while I love science, and in Rhett and Link too, yeah. I see a bit of myself in Rhett and Link, namely in the facial hair and hair coloring. Because I'm getting old.
Careful now.
No, actually, even people who are around my age are younger than me. I'm old for my age. I'm willing to admit that I am old for my age. So people who are my age, or maybe technically older than me, like my ex-wife, are still younger than me. She gets to be younger than me because I'm old and she's not. Turned 28 last month. You headed to the retirement home soon. To put this in perspective for you, Okuda, I have a bottom age limit of people that I'm willing to be intimate with. I mean, people that I'm willing to be physically intimate with. You are still years away from that bottom limit. And that bottom limit is going to keep moving away from you as I grow older. So, like, retirement home soon, my eye.
What's
retirement? You're a spring chicken. What's retirement? I know, right?
I am so going to go back and clip that one little piece about how
About
other
what?
people that are your age or older are still younger than you, and I'm sending that to my sister-in-law so she can beat my brother with it.
That works. You should do that. I need more clipped stuff here anyway.
So I guess I'm younger than you?
Yep. Hadn't you noticed that? You may be more responsible and more adult than I am, but you're younger than me. You're not old.
Think about exactly who you're talking to first when you make that statement. It both counts here.
I'm sorry. The responsible one in this group is not in this room and is not on camera.
No.
Right. Exactly. You and I, Peanut Gallery, when we go, I need an adult. I am an adult. I need an adult here, adult. We're generally talking about Cat.
Sorry.
Neither one of you are sorry, and I know it, so that doesn't work.
That's why I didn't try apologizing.
I am a sorry sack of Siberian sheep feathers.
You're not Canadian enough to pull
Are
that
you
one
a
off.
pheasant plucker?
No.
Are you a pheasant plucker's friend?
No.
What?
Go for it.
I'm not sure I can remember the whole thing. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's friend. No, yeah, I can't remember any more of it at the moment.
That's very fitting since I made you read that one on camera one day.
Yes, and I got through it.
Yes, you did. You did very well.
Let's get back to the show and finish this up. We're mere moments away from finishing this. Now that I've gone off on my feelings about the Notebook. I really am. Opinionated. I am opinionated. Oops, wrong button.
Not as much as you might have hoped.
There's a young generation now that, like, she should have been with you. No, the relationship with Noah was a toxic relationship.
Well, James Marsden, it is a pleasure to talk to you, and we have invited you here to play a game we're calling
Objection.
So as we have been talking about, you served on this fake jury, so we thought it would be a natural thing to ask you 3 questions about real juries. Get 2 of these right, you will win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is James Marsden playing for?
Shane Gill of Cleveland, Ohio.
All right. Ready to play?
I'm going to have to. I'm going to try. We're going to crack.
Here we go. Here's your first question. The jurors in a murder trial in Britain in 1994 arrived at their guilty verdict by doing what? A, observing that the defendant had his fingers crossed during the whole trial. B, asking a Ouija board if he did it or not. Or C, waiting for the made-for-TV movie to be produced about the trial and then seeing how that ended.
I'm just going to have a little fun and go with A.
You're going to go with A, that he had his fingers crossed the whole time on the stand.
I think it was
actually the
B.
Ouija board. What? They were sequestered as you were in jury duty, and they got together in one of the hotel rooms, and they pulled out a Ouija board, and they asked him if the guy was guilty, and Ouija said he was. Once discovered, the verdict was reversed. Okay, you have 2 more chances. A juror in another British case got sentenced for contempt of court. What did she do that was so bad Was it A, every time the plaintiff spoke, the juror made the law and order dun-dun sound?
That would
she
be me.
insisted that she outranked the jury foreman because she was the five men. Or C, she friended the defendant on Facebook and kept him updated on what was going on in the jury room.
C.
I'm going to go with C.
You're right. That's what she did. Interestingly, in that case, the juror served 2 months for contempt of court, and the defendant got off entirely because of the mistrial. All right, here's your last question. Get this one right, you win. Here we go. One juror in a trial a while ago said he couldn't serve in the jury because he had terrible gas. And the judge refused that request, not a good excuse, put him on the jury, and then what happened? A, he eventually farted so terribly in court that the judge vomited and a lawyer fainted. B, his story was made into the classic courtroom film 12 Stinky Men. Or C, the man exploded.
Oh, we know it's A, but...
I'm going to have to go with A.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these sound crazy.
That's what happened, apparently. The judge should have listened. Bill, how did James Marsden do in our quiz?
He won our game completely with 2 out of 3 right.
There you go. That's the verdict. James Marsden stars in Jury Duty. It's on Amazon. Trust me, try it, and you will probably spend the rest of the night watching the whole thing. James Marsden, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you.
That's it for our one last President's Day for old time's sake edition. We'll see you all next week, but first, let me tell you that Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Hair Productions, Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Gotica writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shana Donnell. BJ Letterman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dornbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks to Monica Hickey and Hannah Anderson. Peter Gwynn is the only chief we hail to. Our vice curator is Emma Choi. Technical direction, Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chilad. The executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mike Danforth. Thanks to everyone you heard, to all our panelists, Chioki Ianson, and all our guests. And thanks to all of you listening. I'm Tom Papa, and we will be back next week. This is NPR.
This message comes from Warby Parker. If you wear...
All right. All right. Let's try this. Let's see. I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. I got really close to messing it up, but it wouldn't have been the mess up that everybody else would make.
No, it wouldn't have been. You've been pretty good about that.
Yeah. I dropped my F... Didn't I drop my F-bomb yesterday? Didn't I use my F-bomb yesterday?
I believe you did.
Yeah, so... Alright, I'm gonna try one more time. I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Alright, well... Thank you, Akita. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. This was a lot of fun. Always is. Sunday Shenanigans. Always a good time. Thank you, Akota, for being here in the chat. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Let's see who else. Oh, thank you, Chris in the 386. Thank you all for being here. Stick around for the raid. We will be raiding out to DJ BBS of the Sunday No Pants Raid Train, hosted by my future ex-husband, Lockpick. Yeah, now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all. Alright, I can hear you guys again.